Okay, Crawfordsville was probably the first community in Crawford County. Where they got the name at the time, I guess there was the governor of Kansas at that time in 1875 or 78. In that period, the governor's name was Samuel Crawford. And they started the community, which is 2 miles west of the city of Girard today, and a little bit north. It was kind of a resting period from there to go on west, because it was a little bit, half a mile east of Lightning Creek, and there was an old wagon trail that went down across Lightning Creek, and you can still see to this day the cut on both sides of the creek. And they'd hauled, they told me 70-some loads of rock. Of course, back then, the loads of rock wasn't that big on a horse and wagon. And they hauled them in there and put them in the bottom of that creek so wagons wouldn't have any trouble going through there at wet times. And as far as the history of Crawfordsville, they stayed there, and it built up. There was a school and a general store and a blacksmith shop, and everything in the community just started to grow. And then the railroad went through. They surveyed the county, and I don't know whether it was Santa Fe, but the railroad came through and they surveyed it, and it went through the center of the county. And so there was a debate whether to move the town back to the center of Crawford County, where the railroad was, or stay where they were. And they had a vote, and where they got all these votes, I still don't know. It seemed like it was 340-some in favor to move the town to the center of Crawford County, where Girard is now, or to stay where they were at 2 miles west. And it carried by like 10 or 12 votes. The wagon train, it would take a freight train 2 days to make the trip from Fort Scott. Well, a guy on a horse could make it in 1 day. There is a cemetery out there, and we found one burst stone. We never kept it up but you can still find the old stones there. The trees are still there, and we found a headstone that had Baby Girard on it, and we took it to the Historical Society in Girard itself, and you can find that there. The old barn is still there, and that's where the school was too. I can remember the school because they moved it down next to 47 Highway, and it was there for a long time. And like I was telling you earlier, there was, back in those days, in the early part of the days, they had a rural school almost. Of course, it depended how much population you had out in the country, but there was almost a rural school every 2 miles, because kids had to walk to get to the school, or take a horse or something. It wasn't long that Crawfordsville just flat disappeared in 2 or 3 years, because they moved back, and it went back to farm ground, and they said the streets and just everything just disappeared because everybody moved to Girard itself. And